How's it going, guys? My name's Andy from Urban Herbs, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about how you can grow chocolate mint and why you really should. First things first, I just said chocolate mint. Yeah, I wasn't joking. This is a variety within the peppermint family that's been selectively bred to have a really extra sweet flavour. So you combine the deep, beautiful flavour of peppermint with that extra sweetness and you get chocolate mint. Does that sound good to you? Because just as I rubbed the leaf then while I was talking to you, I got the aroma straight away. I'm going to get right into the flavour of this variety because it's really important. I've actually seen this described as peppermint with good PR, and I think that's a little bit unfair because this really is much sweeter than your normal peppermint. Much sweeter. When you use chocolate mint in the kitchen, that extra sweetness really does come across strongly. And that gives you so many options. For years and years with Urban Herbs, I travelled around doing food festivals and street food markets, working with chefs that were really innovative. And some of the options they provided to me were options that I hadn't thought of for using chocolate mint. They suggested actually using chocolate mint to season red meat, for example. Now, when I've been in Belgium in the past, they've actually seasoned steak with chocolate sauce, so I guess that kind of makes sense. But obviously, it's fantastic making a herbal tea. Do you notice that I can't stop touching the foliage while I'm talking to you? It's that kind of sensory herb. You can put it on steak. You can use it to make a beautiful herbal tea. It's really nice chopped up on ice cream as well as a natural topping. You've got so many foodie options with chocolate mint. Now, you probably clicked this video because you want to know how to grow chocolate mint, so let's get right into it. If you're growing chocolate mint from an established plant like this one here, and if you're able to find that in your locality, that's a really important point actually, because here in the UK, I run Urban Herbs, we can supply this plant, but a lot of you are going to be watching this from the USA, and I know that there are some fantastic herb sellers in the USA that stock this variety. So if you're actually growing it from an established plant like this one, you're going to want to put chocolate mint into a larger pot straight away. Get it potted on into a pot at least 3 times the size of the one that's in when you receive it, which would typically be a 9cm pot, I'd imagine. Make sure you pot it up in quite moisture retentive conditions, moisture retentive growing medium that is. This doesn't want to dry out. And notice I said about putting it into a container, because chocolate mint is going to spread very enthusiastically, like a lot of other mints. It's in the peppermint family, right? So it's going to want to travel, it's going to want to take over the locality. And if you haven't got a lot of space, that might not be the best idea. So I tend to put chocolate mint in a container just to limit it a little bit. I put it in a good sized container because I'm going to be using a lot of this beautiful variety. You can grow chocolate mint in full sun or partial shade. It will actually prefer, in my experience, slightly more shaded conditions. It will dry out less quickly. I've actually grown this in the past in very heavy shade and it's done absolutely fine. It's just grown a little bit more slowly than it would if it was in slightly lighter conditions. As the plant grows, keep an eye on it, use it, cut it back. Make sure that it's not spreading too much. Even if it's in a pot, you'll see these runners can spread and they can actually take over their neighbours' pots as well. Anybody who's watched Star Trek will know how insidious the Borg can be, and I sometimes think that mint is a little bit like that. It will assimilate the pots around it. That's a very niche reference, I might regret saying that. As chocolate mint grows, make sure it isn't taking over its neighbouring pots. Make sure it's watered during hot spells. And you're going to find as well that it fills up that pot eventually. And what you can actually do is actually take it out of its existing pot and actually divide the plant late on in the season. And the beautiful thing about this is that with growing, it's never the finished product. You're going to keep on growing, the plant's going to keep on growing, and dividing the plant will actually reinvigorate it. We're going to post a separate video about how you can divide your herbs, but that is actually really important. I hope that this really brief guide to chocolate mint has inspired you to try and get your hands on one of these beautiful plants wherever you live. This really is one of my favourite varieties, and I think that you should really grow chocolate mint because it's going to make you smile. It's great on steak, great on ice cream too. What more could you want? I hope you've enjoyed meeting chocolate mint today, guys. If you have, drop me a comment below. Let me know what you thought. See you later.